complete our mission very well. We invited all the guests in the room, and for the couple of minutes it will take for them to join us, I will say a few words about Energynomics, and I will use the website we have for this. I am very interested in talking to you about one of our special projects. I mentioned earlier that we are running this website, we organize events, and we write the magazine. But we also enter into a more specific market in energy, and that is an area dedicated to analysis. And we started some months ago with this product, which is called the Romanian Energy Monitor for PV projects. It comprises only the projects over 5 megawatts, designed for injected generated capacity into the grid. And we identified in March around 868 projects. We are working now in updating this information, and we are already over 900 projects. Of course, as you probably expect, most of them are in the early stages of development. And not so many in construction phase. However, the situation changed a little bit in the last months, and I think that would be an interesting experience to follow our website and check for the next edition of this monitor in order to find out more about what's new on the PV market in Romania. This is only one of the topics for today, but I think it will be the most important also in this session. And I invite now the speakers on the stage, and we will start immediately. So I invite Mr. Mesut Guler, founder and CEO of Enexus Renewables, to join us here. Mesut, you are expected here. Iulia, Meiroșu, CEO of Verdeo Energy, please join us here. Octavian, Roșca, Managing Partner, Volt, please. Nursah, Kahraman, Country Manager, Kahraman Energy Romania. I haven't had the pleasure to meet Ms. Kahraman, but okay. And Raul, Toma, Managing Partner, Evolve Energy Management Solutions. We will have the same format of the conversation with an initial intervention from each speaker with 5 to 7 minutes maybe, just to know each other a little bit better and to have the strings for starting our conversation. You are also expected to participate, so if you have any ideas, any comments, you are welcome to share with us. Best approach for RES investments. That's the title of this session. And I'm interested in delving a little bit more inside this area and providing the audience with as many insights as possible from grassroots, from operating, developing, working on specific projects, with anything that you find relevant for those operating in this area. And I will start with Mr. Mesut Guler. I said earlier, founder and CEO of Enexus Renewables, our main partner for this event in Istanbul. Thank you very much, Mesut, for trusting Energynomics and helping us in making all this possible. The floor is yours.
Öncelikle ben teşekkür ederim Gabriel. Olsa sizinle çalışmak da bizim için bir onurdu. Bizi bu organizasyonu hazırlamamızda verdiğiniz emekten dolayı da biz size ayrıca çok teşekkür ederiz. Biz Enexus olarak 2020'den beri Romanya'da aktif faaliyet gösteriyoruz. Verdiğimiz hizmetler, proje geliştirme, EPC, O&M ve yeni beraber işte Verdeo ile beraber de enerji ticaretine başladık. Yaklaşık bugüne kadar 150 megawatt yakınlığı bir projenin teslimatını yaptık ve önümüzdeki yılda 200 megawattlık bir projenin de halihazırda kontratlarını imzaladık. Biz yatırımcılarımıza ne vaat ediyoruz? O yatırımcılarımıza stresten uzak bir yatırım vaat ediyoruz. Yani bir santralin 30 yıl boyunca ihtiyacı olan her türlü hizmeti veriyoruz. Projelerini buluyoruz ya da geliştiriyoruz. İnşaatını yapıyoruz, şebekeye bağlıyoruz, lisanslamalarını yapıyoruz ve gerekli bütün bürokratik işlemleri sağlıyoruz. Bakım onarımını biz yapıyoruz ve ihtiyaç duymaları halinde de enerjinin ticaretini de biz yapıyoruz. Ve onlar 30 yıl boyunca evlerinde sadece kahvelerini içip ilgili kurumlara faturalarını kesiyorlar. Yani bizim tarafta bugüne kadar da Romanya'da ikili ilişkileri de çok ilişkilerimizi çok geliştirdik ve biz orada yerleşik bir firmayız. Yani biz ilk gittiğimizde Romanya'da bir Türk firmasıydık ama artık Romanyalı Türk firmasıyız. Bu da bizi birkaç adım öteye taşıdı. Şimdilik söyleyeceklerim bu kadar. Teşekkür ederim Gabriel tekrar.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, and I'm looking forward to for more details. I will now give the floor to Octavian Roșca, managing partner Volt, a Romanian company, completely Romanian company this time. Please.
Sorry.
It should be.
Okay. I'm really glad to be here today, and I'm really thankful to Energynomics and Enexus for organizing this event. I think this will help to build a strong partnership between Romanian businessmen and Turkish. My name is Octavian Roșca. I'm representing Volt. Volt is a leading EPC company from Romania. We provide the full service EPC from the design phase, feasibility studies, obtaining all the permits, construction and operation of the power plants. We have recently achieved an interesting milestone in our company. We have implemented and commissioned the largest PV system implemented on a single roof in Romania. It's a 12 megawatt peak project. And during our 8 years experience, we have helped many developers to get all the permits and implement their projects for more than 300 megawatt projects. So I would like to discuss a bit about the opportunities that are now in Romania. We have more than 46 gigawatt projects as per Gabi's report that he presented before. But what I have seen is that 82% of those projects are in early stage, 10% of them are ready to build, and 8% are either constructed or under construction, half and half. What we have saw in the past is that plenty of the investors do not have the required experience to develop those projects. That's why I think we have such amount of projects, 92% of them, that are not constructed yet, because plenty of the investors in Romania came from different businesses, and they thought that this is the new business that they can invest in with a good return, but they didn't analyze the financials very well, and now they have stopped. What we see is that we have three types of investors in Romania. We have large companies that know how to run PV panel business, PV system businesses. The second one is the investors that want to diversify their portfolio, and the third one are investors that saw a big opportunity here to develop the project and sell it at the ready-to-build stage. What I think we need now in Romania, we need people with experience in the energy field that can help those projects to be implemented. And what I can say is that there is a big opportunity. We have the capacities, we have the funding, as Adrian Băzăvan said before. We had before PNR, we had a modernization fund, now we have CFD, so we have a good mixture of chances to get those projects running. What I want to say is, if you are interested to invest in such projects, pay a lot of attention on the details of the projects. I've heard that there was a question at the other panel, what are the three things, the most important three things that you have to look at when you purchase an SPV. I think one of the main thing is that you have to look at the solution or the design that was done by the company that assisted the investor to develop the project, and to see if those technologies are still viable or efficient now or not, because the ATR reflects the equipments that were used there. This is what I wanted to add. So yeah, thank you again for the event, and I hope we can build some collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you, Octavian. I will now invite Iulia Meiroșu, CEO of Verdeo Energy, to take the floor to say a few words. Iulia, thank you very much also for the great help you was during the last months and a half in making all this possible. Please.
Thank you, Gabi. It's my pleasure to be here in Turkey because when I started in energy, I started with Enexus, and I'm still the CFO of Enexus right now, in addition to being the CEO of Verdeo. Verdeo is a little bit of a new venture that we are building. It comes as a natural extension to the activity that Enexus is doing with and for the mostly Turkish investors, and we have developed the capabilities over time to service, I think, more than 80% of the Turkish investors that want to invest in solar in Romania. They are talking to us, and we assist them on the Nexus side, as Mesut mentioned, from identifying good projects, as Octavian says, viable projects, economically viable projects, to getting them turnkey ready to doing the operation and maintenance. And in order to make sure that our investors, especially the ones from abroad that do not know the market so well, can get maximum benefits from their investment, at Verdeo, what we are focusing on is the offtake part. I mean by that in helping them first and foremost get the financing solutions that they need in order to make their investment, but not it's more focused on what happens after the COD or the delivery of a new facility. And we are talking licensing part, we are talking trading mostly, because a lot of the investors do want to trade their energy, and very few, as you know from other discussions, are within PPAs. So we are having a look at the opportunities that the market can offer, and we build partnerships with other players in the market who have capabilities around the offtake part, in order to make sure that that our investors, our beneficiaries, can, like Mesut said, take a coffee and relax, knowing that their investment is achieving a good IRR.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It's a nice circle building already here. I commented an hour ago that at the beginning of the renewable industry in Romania, and some years after that beginning, people got used with the idea that I have the land, I build the plant, and then money starts pouring, and I just cash in. which is not the case anymore today. But what we have in mind is a future like that, as Mesut put it, okay? We should work in such a way that the owner has as little troubles as possible. I will now give the floor to Nursah Kahraman, Country Manager, Kahraman Energy Romania, an IPP company, an independent power producer. Please.
Hi everyone, I'm Nursah Kahraman from Kahraman Energy. It's been 3 years for us. We are in Romania. We are investing in the solar sector, and we have many projects in different stages. For example, our first project is started to generate electricity, and we started to sell electricity. In our second project, we are getting ready to apply for the license, and we are planning to start another construction of our third project, and we are also waiting for the ATR and the building permits of other projects as well. So in this time we have experience of all stages of the parks and the bureaucratic stages. So we faced that the bureaucratic stages are the challenging ones if you are the foreign investor in a foreign company. But the important thing is if you find the good project in terms of the enforcement or the connection costs, or the most important things may be the technically, legally and financially good projects. If you are with good business partners to find the good projects and to make the construction of your projects or to sell it, the key point is finding the best business partner, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. We will close this round of intervention with Raul Toma, Managing Partner, Evolve Energy Management Solutions. Raul also prepared a short series of slides for us. Raul, I will make it visible immediately.
Thank you and good afternoon. I was prepared just to make an initial statement regarding the renewables in Romania. And since the presentation is focused on battery, I would like to add that batteries are no longer just a commercial, has no longer just a commercial perspective, but a technical one, because we saw the first ATR, grid connection permit, in which the TSO, Transelectrica, put on the table two options: either the future generator to perform grid reinforcement works, or to add to the existing capacity or future capacity a battery of the same size. The obvious choice was to add the battery, and this opens a lot of perspectives in terms of how fast you can bring your project to the grid. So, if I can continue, yes, thank you. Evolve is part of a larger group. It's called Rom Capital Invest Holding, with 17 companies. Last year's turnover was 16.2 million euros, out of which 41 from consultancy services. We have more than 400 ongoing projects covering more than 17 billion euro in capex, with 150 full-time employees and 250 project-based employees. In our portfolio, we have more than 1,000 clients. The activity of the holding is structured in 4 pillars, and I will refer mostly of the energy pillar, which is most of the most interest right now. We have the largest 2 BRPs, balancing responsible parties in Romania, and this is a topic of interest for every renewable generator, because the cost of balancing, as you see it, is something that you have to account for when you make your business plan. So with these two BRPs, we are balancing 60% of the total demand in Romania, 45% of the total generation, 85% of the solar and wind generation. We are balancing 5 out of 6 DSOs and the TSO for the grid losses. I will not go into details for the rest of the companies, but I will mention the fact that we have the next pillar, engineering, the technology pillar, which means IT, and I will stay a little bit with our company, Augur AI, which developed the proprietary forecast model, not only for generation, but also for demand, prosumers, grid losses, EV charging stations, and that's all. And in the financial pillar, which is, let's say, most of the time the enabler for all the projects, because we have here non-reimbursable funds and reimbursable funds, and as time goes by, the grants are going lower, and the need for reimbursable funds is getting higher. So we cover both type of financing. Coming back to Evolve, we started last year with the dedicated desire of becoming an independent aggregator. That means, as aggregator, that we have to provide ancillary services in the market, power frequency regulation, FCR, FRR, MFRR. So we do the full cycle of services, starting from forecasting, then market access in regular markets, like day-ahead, intraday, forward markets, and the balancing market. We are also very focused on what will be the next, let's say, opportunity as a business in Romania, like flexibility for the DSOs, meaning congestion management and voltage control. And last but not least, microgrid management in close connection with the future energy communities. But we started, like I said, last year as a consultancy company, and we were involved in M&A processes, in technical due diligences for renewables, totaling 1.6 gigawatt installed power. Then we have developed the proprietary BESS model, financial BESS model, because we saw from the beginning batteries as the most suitable asset to provide ancillary services. Therefore, we concentrated on this, and we evaluated in a lot of projects for different clients, more than 1.8 gigawatt hour installed capacities in battery. And of course, to be able to provide this type of consultancy, you need to know very well the market and the regulatory framework. On the other hand, on the end of this chain, starting from generation, transmission, distribution, supplying, we have the customers. And we also are focusing on the customer side, because we help them in the transition for greenification. We are helping them closing corporate PPAs, but we can act both ways. On the generation side, generator side, and of the off-taker side. The regulatory framework for new investors in the Romanian market makes, let's say, things easier to understand and simpler to be addressed. So we have new regulation related to grid connection, a new support scheme, the CFD, and it was already mentioned here, and we think it's a great enabler for future projects to find the financing and the projects to get to the grid, and also new balancing rules in the balancing market, because, like I said, the pressure of imbalancing costs is higher for all renewable generators. Reverting to the BESS model, we can use our model in both ways. Either determine the optimal size of the battery, independence of the technical condition, or either if we have the capacity and the power already given by the client, to determine the revenue stack and the profitability indicators of the investment. We have studied batteries in all variants, technical possible variants to connect to the grid as a standalone, collocated in wind, collocated in solar, collocated in hybrid wind and solar at the client side, with generation, without generation, and so on. In the model, we have enclosed data related to CAPEX, OPEX, time of analysis, seasonality, because Romania has a specific market which shows 3 seasons: summer, winter, and transition period, and also the type of financing, with or without grants, own equity, or third-party equity. And we are concentrating as a result, mainly because the investors mainly are looking at the financial results, to the revenue streams, which are arbitrage, peak shaving or imbalance offsetting, and system services, ancillary services. To perform an analysis of arbitrage, you need to take a closer look to the day-ahead market, because let's put it simply, we have a battery of 1 megawatt, 1 megawatt hour. You have to choose the hour with the lowest price to buy it. You have to choose the hour with the highest price to sell it. This is the spread between the highest and the lowest price. And to perform this analysis, we have calculated the average daily price for all the 3 reasons. And what we can see from here, that the maximum spread is in summer period, and it exceeds in average 320 euro per megawatt hour. In transition period, we see that morning peak hour in terms of pricing looks very much like the evening peak hour. And if we put in a graph, the red line graph, the spread for 1 year from June 2023 to May 2024, we'll see this type of distribution. If we decide to analyze the spread in correlation with a specific threshold, and the threshold is 80 euro per megawatt hour, and another threshold is 120 euro per megawatt hour, this is in average the cost of storage. So if I have to be, let's say, economic efficient, I will need to get revenues above my costs. So setting just simply the threshold at 80 euro per megawatt hour for the last 12 months, we saw that in 256 days, the condition that the spread is higher than the threshold was met. That means that a battery with a specific cost of 80 euro per megawatt hour for storage brings an annual revenue of 25,000 euro per megawatt hour installed. If we analyze the revenue stream coming from the peak shaving, imbalance offsetting, we have to look at the balancing market. And we provided the same analysis. We have the average daily imbalances for the last 12 months. It's not spectacular if you see it at the daily average, because you have a maximum deficit of 200 megawatts and a maximum surplus of 150. But if we change the granularity to 1 hour and do the breakdown on the season level, we will see that the deficit is 450 megawatt and the surplus is 360. So from the beginning, we have the idea of how wide is the market for the balancing services between those two. In terms of pricing, we have starting February 1st, 2021, the single price mechanism, and it works very well in winter season and in the transition season. But what we can see in the summer season, that during 12 p.m. and 4 p.m., we have the minimum prices, negative minimum prices in the balancing market, up to 2,000 euro per megawatt hour. So this is usually a problem for those generators who just throw the energy onto the balancing market without doing any notification, any try to sell it on the day ahead, intraday, and so on. Putting the battery in the context of imbalancing, we have chosen 2 use cases, 2 scenarios. A wind power plant of 300 megawatt installed power with a generation of 600 plus gigawatt hour on a yearly base, with the real imbalances in terms of both sides, surplus and deficit, both power and energy. We attached for each settlement period to the volume of imbalance the price from the balancing market, And the total cost of balancing for that specific wind power plant was a little bit over 3 million euro. Divided by the total generation, results an average cost of imbalance of 4.9 euro per every generated megawatt hour. We did the same thing for a PV plant, but if we stay at the wind power plant level, we run our model, and the model says that a battery of 100 megawatt, 200 megawatt hour will cover all the needs for peak shaving, for offsetting the imbalances. So what is a cost for the renewable part, for the wind power plant, becomes the revenue for the battery, and that revenue of 3 million euros divided by the capacity of the battery means an average income for every megawatt hour installed of 15,000 euro. We did the same calculation for the PV plant, like I've mentioned you. The battery is smaller, 30 megawatt with 60 megawatt hour, and the yearly revenue per each megawatt hour installed, it's in the same range, 15,000 euro. And the third revenue stream for the battery is the system services and ancillary service market. So the need for flexibility is for
Raul, if I may, there's so many information. Maybe 2 minutes for closing this.
This is the last one, maybe penultimo. So the more renewables you put in the grid, the more need for the system services you will have. Given all the programmatic documents we expect by 2050 to have 35 gigawatt installed in wind and solar in Romania. And therefore, if we just calculate a 10% need of system services for those 35 gigawatt installed, we reach the level of 3,500 megawatts for system services. And putting the same batteries as the previous use case at work results that the smaller battery will have a yearly revenue of 5.1 million euro coming from reservation and activation, and the larger battery will have I think it's 14.6 million euro per year. Meaning that per each installed megawatt hour, the revenues from the ancillary service market will be somewhere around 85,000 euro. And the conclusions are these: we will need batteries. The batteries will have to be evaluated in full for all revenue streams. The main competitor in this market is Hidroelectrica, who operates the hydropower plants, and given the current trend of hybridization of renewables, maybe the need for system services will not be as high, because the imbalances will be offset at the generation side. Thanks.
Thank you, Raul, and thank you first of all for yes, for mentioning so many specific numbers in terms of revenue per year, because I saw in the audience when you talk about 50,000 euro, 1 million euro per year, everybody seems to be a little bit more awake. So thank you very much for that. But ladies and gentlemen, please note how fortunate we are for having such a extensive spread of competencies in this panel, from a project developer, power producer, EPC, advisor, and trading. And on top of that, such a strong analysis on the benefits and potential business cases for battery. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for this moment. And now, we are entering a little bit in more details based on our planned themes we plan to cover. And we talked about identifying high potential projects. I think Octavian already talked a little bit about that. Navigating legal and administrative processes. Also, there was at least 2 interventions talking about this. Market entry strategies for new investors. I think this was not covered necessary at the moment, and risk management and mitigation in RES projects. Batteries represent one of the obvious solutions. But before touching these points, I kindly ask you, each of you, because you have already projects under your belt and you have money invested in the market in Romania, please share with us one particular story that you consider that would be a relevant lesson to be learned from the audience, here and online when we'll post the video recording. So one particular story, something that you encountered with in your projects, that you think it might be useful in a better approach for renewables in Romania. I will give you 20 seconds for thinking and looking for such an example. I'm convinced that having a story might help us to remember the lesson. Is there any such thing in any of the 4 areas we presented that you think, take care of that? I met with this challenge and what happened?
I will start with a story. I would start with a conclusion, I think.
Please.
First. And I think it was mentioned before, but I cannot stress this enough. You have to choose your partners well. And this, is...
Take care, this is...
choose your partners well means, from an investor's perspective, I would say, but also from, how you look at the market. So, first of all, do your homework, and I think this falls also under the theme of risk management.
Mm-hmm.
Do your homework first. Look at the market, understand which are the projects, and this is taking to Octavian's comment on how to choose good projects. Look at the projects, look at serious developers who are willing to go with you the extra mile in order to, for all the parts to understand that this is a good, viable project. Take the time to understand all the complexities of the market and to think on a longer term, like Raul said, with the strategy of maybe adding storage or maybe thinking constructively whether to use the CFD scheme or other schemes of support that the government gives you, or to just go to the market or to go into a PPA. This varies by investor. And this, to choose who to work with for each step of the way, the long bureaucratic process, also there are people who can help navigate that. Mm-hmm. The construction, which everybody knows is a very risky part of the process of investment, where there's plenty of things that can go not according to plan.
Give us an example.
I will let Mesut tell the examples from the trenches.
Okay.
But also to be attentive to the professionalism and to the forthcoming to which the people you work with offer information and they are willing to educate you as an investor in in the current market. That's a measure of
Thank you.
professionalism. That's a measure of seriousness.
Thank you. I have a title for this idea. It could be summarized in risk management starts before spending any money. And
That's
would be
right.
good advice. Okay, thank you, Iulia. Okay, as a continuation, the story, the example.
Yeah.
Mesut, please.
Also, I want to give you some stories from Turkish investors' perspective. Also, I want to maintain in Turkish. It will be better also for them
Okay,
and for me.
okay.
Genellikle biz Romanya ile Türkiye arasında bizim genellikle yaşadığımız sorunlar şu. Aradaki dil bariyeri ve kültür farkı bizde önemli etken oluyor. Mesela bizim yatırımcılarımız, Türk yatırımcılarımız, ya bizde Türkiye'de şöyle bir şey vardır, biz her şeyi sonuna kadar bekleriz, ondan sonra her şey acildir. Romanya'da her şey daha böyle zamana yayılı ilerliyor ve bu sebeple en çok Türk yatırımcılarımızın zorlandığı ve bizim de anlatmakta zorlandığımız konu bu oluyor. Romanya'nın bürokrasisi Türkiye'ye göre daha yavaş. Yani bunlar Romanya'da oluşan, bizim tarafımızdan oluşan...
Sorry, what is a little bit slow in Romania compared with Turkey?
Bürokrasi.
The bureaucracy. Okay.
Yeah. Ondan sonrasında da yani genellikle, ama Romanya'nın bir güzel şeyi var, sonucunda her şey çözülüyor bir şekilde, sonuca bağlanıyor. Bizim yatırımcılarımızın yani tek düşünebileceği sıkıntı Romanya'da bürokrasinin yavaş olması. Onun haricinde her şey bizim Türkiye ile birebir aynı. Bizim karşılaştığımız bir diğer sorun da şu: biz Romanya'nın değişik dağıtım bölgelerinde, DSO'ların bölgelerinde çalıştık ve genel yaşadığımız sorun da şu: aynı dağıtım bölgesinde farklı şehirde, farklı bölgede farklı sorunlar yaşıyoruz, farklı taleplerle karşılaşıyoruz. İlk zamanlar bu çok daha fazlaydı. Çünkü Romanya yani güneş enerji sektörüne çok hakim değildi. Geçmişten gelen tecrübe çok kısıtlıydı. Ama zaman içerisinde hızla adapte olundu. Bütün kurumlar yani bizim gibi işte EPC firmalarıyla, yatırımcılarla nasıl koordine olmaları gerektiğini öğrendiler. Sistem bir şekilde yolunu buldu. Ben ilk gittiğim yıl işte 2020 yılında, biz oraya gittiğimizde biz hala dağıtım şirketlerinde AC'yi, DC'yi anlatıyorduk. Şu an artık onlardan akıl alır hale geldik. Romanya'nın bir güzel tarafı da her şeye çok hızlı adapte oluyorlar. Bir şekilde benim hikayem de bu şekilde.
Thank you. Thank you. Very, very interesting. So, okay, so time management. So, time management problems might appear given the cultural differences. That would be one perspective. And the other, that bureaucracy in Romania is a little bit less pressing than in Turkey. But there are not as many situations like in the past, but still all different manners of interpretation of specific regulations or norms or something like that, based on different DSO or different region or different authority in different parts of the country. That would be, okay, very interesting and very useful, I think, for you looking for working in Romania energy sector. Please, Octavian.
Okay, I have a story related to the development of a PV park, an early stage development. One of our clients, before becoming our clients, spoke with an advisor, and he advised him to purchase the land next to a substation.
Okay.
So he
That
went,
would be a very good advice.
the best land. So he went and he found the land next to the substation, but he was thinking that it's better to purchase all the land surrounding the substation. And he came to us to do the design. When we have seen the plans, we have realized that that project is not efficient, because all the land was passed by high voltage lines, and you couldn't construct anything there. Or you had to go to process to have the cables.
Which was kind of obvious for any person slightly
really
educated
obvious.
in the energy
But
sector.
This
Okay.
had happened like 4 years ago, and what I think now the Romanian investors, they do understand where to implement the projects, but what they do not understand is the financial side. Even 2 weeks ago, I had a potential client contacted us, and he said, I had 10 hectares land. Can you help us to build the project? And I said, okay, you want to build the project, but do you understand the business? And he said, yeah, it's really simple. It's roughly around 100 euro per megawatt hour. We'll get a good return in 5 years. I said, it's not like that. Do you know what is the LCOE that you want to have? And he didn't understand anything. So I said,
Okay. So this is a problem
stop.
which still exists in the market at the present. Because I had the impression, because I talk with you smart guys for every month, so that we advanced a little bit from that stage on. But no.
Not
I see.
on the final. That's why I'm saying that we need good investors with experience that know how to run those businesses. And I think about the strategy that you said. A good strategy for a company that wants to implement projects in Romania is to partner with a Romanian investor that knows the legislation, that knows the bureaucracy, and together they can build a sustainable PV plant.
Thank you. Nursah, please tell us a little bit more about, first of all, about the volume of your portfolio in Romania, and then maybe if you have the story, please.
The volume of our projects, right?
Yes.
Our first project is 6 megawatts. I'm mentioning DC. And also the second one is 7. We are putting also 20 megawatts battery for both of them. And we will start for the construction of 3 megawatts. And we are waiting the building permit of 10 megawatts of another project. So I don't know the total.
6, 7, 3, 10.
You know, right?
Okay. 3 of them should be also in our database with the projects. I'm very curious to talk a little bit more about the specific stages, because we build up a system with 10 steps from 1 to 10, and it would be nice to see exactly where your projects are. But do you have a story that you could share with us?
Actually, maybe it's not a story, but I can give an advice. We try to develop our own projects, but in 2 of the projects we face that if you are developing a project for now, it's you can face with high connection costs. So it is better to make alive the old ATRs because it is there is possibility for it. So by that way, you don't have to waste your time while trying to develop the project, or you can trust someone and buy the project of them.
Okay. Maybe you return to it, this idea, because it's connected. It is connected with something said earlier, that in the next period of time, 1 year, 1 year and a half, a significant number of projects with ETRs will be eliminated from the list, and there will appear new capacities available. And I think that we should talk a little bit more about this specific opportunity in Romania. But I will now give the floor to Raul for his story, if you have one.
I don't have a story. I just want to revert to what Iulia and in the previous panel Volkan said, but this time from the consultant's perspective. The difference between a successful project and an unsuccessful one, even if you are a very knowledgeable, let's say, developer at your home, let's say in Turkey, and you know by heart all the stages of a project, from designing, project management, building, operating, decommissioning it. You still need local consultancy, good quality local consultancy for legal, fiscal, regulatory, and technical perspective. So
Cultural too, I would add.
cultural too, yes. But since we are very much alike, like we saw last evening, I don't think it will be a problem. So
You and Mesut very much alike, but it seems that not all Romanians are like Mesut. Okay.
okay. So, like I said, we have very knowledgeable clients. They know by heart this type of business, and we have let's say opportunity investment clients. They saw the opportunity. They know nothing about the business, and they rely in full on the competencies and the willingness and the goodwill of the consultants. So, choosing the right partner makes the difference.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies, gentlemen, it is the time for your input. So, any specific questions, any comments? I will prioritize people who haven't spoken yet. So, if there is something you want to add or say. I have one question from the gentleman here. Please keep your intervention as short as possible. Thank you.
Sayın Mesut Bey, bu biraz sizin orada number one olduğunuzu öğle yemeği arasında öğrendik. Şimdi orada çağrı mektubu, bizim Türkiye'de çağrı mektubu konusu sıkıntı. Bunu nasıl aşıyor? Ondan sonra Energynomics interkolektif sistemi bağlama olayı nasıl? Ben Denizli'de bunlar sıkıntı, çağrı mektubu verilemiyor.
Şimdi Romanya'da çağrı mektubu almanın önü kapalı değil. Yani bir şekilde kanunen size başvurduğunuzda size bir başvuru noktası vermek zorundalar. Ama önemli olan orada Nursah Hanım da dediği gibi bağlantının maliyeti. Ama bağlantı maliyetini önce şöyle açıklamak lazım. Yani genel kanı bizim Türk yatırımcılarının gözünden bağlantı maliyeti bir harç gibi algılanıyor bizim Türkiye tabiriyle. O bir harç değil. Sizin bağlanacağınız noktada, bunun dışında bağlanacağınız noktadaki ekipmanın tedariği ve bunun yerine montajı ve santrali şebekeye bağlamak için gereken teknik altyapının hazırlanması anlamında bunu değerlendirmek lazım. Ama bunun dışında varsa bir ENAŞ'ınız projenin içerisinde onu siz işin içinde yapmak zorundasınız. Dediğim gibi kapasitede herhangi bir sınırlama yok. Ama orada önemli olan bağlantının maliyeti. Bağlantının maliyetine dikkat etmeniz lazım. Projenin detaylarını zaten ATR dediğimiz şeyde bütün detaylar en ince ayrıntısına kadar yazıyor. Maliyetlerinden, gereken ekipmanlardan, kapasitesinden, gücünden buradan bütün gereken teknik detayları alabilirsiniz. İyi bir de danışmanlığınız varsa tabii ki. Bizim Rumence anlamamız söz konusu değil. Biz artık öğrendik nereye bakmamız gerektiğini ama biz de bilmiyoruz hala Rumenceyi. Ama iyi bir danışmandan, teknik due diligence yapan firmalardan danışmanlık alıp bu sorunu aşabilirsiniz.
Okay. So it seems like the language difference really matters. At least at the moment, we should be doing a little bit more in order to can translate a little bit better in Romanian or English and Turkey. I promise to to do a little bit of work in this direction, because these 2 days in Istanbul I couldn't recognize more than 10 words on the streets, which is very ashamed. I'm very ashamed of. Okay, any question or comments from your side, ladies and gentlemen? If now I will turn a little bit more to you and ask you, each of you, to say a few words about this opportunity of getting the place of those with ATRs rejected or which become void by mainly because they didn't do the work they were supposed to do in time, isn't it? Okay, is this a real possibility? What would be the best approach in order to be the first on the line?
as with everything, it's a issue that has to do more with access to information. I would start there. First of all, to understand which capacities are available or which capacities are becoming available in the following period. And I don't know if there's enough transparency regarding that.
What kind of sources of information you have? There are those Excel files from Transelectrica summarizing the information from the DSOs. With a little delay, but with much more granular information.
Exactly, that would be your main information source. But then again, you don't know what the investors' intentions are.
Okay.
And second point on here, since the rules are changing, and we know that there's gonna come time when network capacities would be auctioned. I expect that by the time new capacities become available, they will enter this auction mechanism.
We don't know yet
the market
if those
will
auctions
change
will
then.
be with that. What frequency will be? Will it be once per year, twice per year? We don't know yet.
I think that's a question better addressed to Mr. Niculescu from ANRE.
Or Transelectrica maybe, but I also had a question about Transelectrica from another perspective. We have this map on their website when they show the available capacity for each region, and I suppose I didn't check out frequently enough. I suppose it is changing, also based on the ATRs getting out of the line, or isn't it? I don't know.
Let's hope so.
Okay.
As I said, it depends how often is the data updated and what the quality of the data behind it.
Yes, I asked a lot, so many times in Transelectrica, can we have some more information? Again, the answer was we do not have enough capacity, not enough people, and this is discouraging.
I will say a word that's been overused in Romania lately. It's digitalization. But, it's hard to get it right, I would say.
I see.
Let's see the latest
Okay,
example.
any other perspective on this topic? I don't know. Raul, Octavian, no? Okay.
Okay. I think the biggest opportunities now are with the projects that are up to ready to build phase, and it's better to look at them instead of looking into the future.
It is much better use of your time and efforts than others.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then waiting for a new regulation to come. At the moment we don't know how the bidding process works, and yeah, it's speculative.
I see. Okay, thank you. Questions or comments from your side? Radu, you have another chance. Yeah. Thank you. It is not. I'm not trying to be.
Thank you.
Smart.
I'm your
Thank you.
backup. I'm your backup
Thank you.
today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear panelists. I have a question to our lovely representative of investors, Ms. Kahraman. You are a brave investor in Romania. My question starts with this philosophical approach. What brought you till this stage, till this day, will not drive you to the next stage or the next challenge you have. So my question is, what has to happen in Romania so that your portfolio will be doubled, tripled, and you will bring more money into the country? What are your expectations as from an investor point of view? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Firstly, we were thinking that taking loans from the banks, the Romanian banks, were so easy. But when we started to invest in Romania, we understand that it's not that easy. And if you are a Turkish investor who doesn't have any staying permit or working permit in EU, it is really hard to negotiate the terms of the loans. So for the investors, I think the most important thing is getting a good rate loan from the banks. From now, we didn't get any loan and we completed our constructions by ourselves. But if we could get a chance to get loan, so it could be doubled or tripled, I think that's the most important thing for an investor. And it is really new regulation in Romania we faced with, and everything is certain but not that certain. So for the investors, it is a little bit risky for now. For example, if I could give an example, we were in testing period, and we were selling the electricity like the sum of the last 3 months. But after that, there is a new regulation from the beginning of the October, telling that after you got the PIF, you cannot sell the electricity. You need to stop the production. For example, it's a really new regulation. Nobody knows it. Nobody understands the regulation well, and the institution or UNRED doesn't warn you in time, I think. For example, if I'm in a testing period before the regulation, I should know it. And something like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good opening, the discussion in the financing area, and I have one or two questions. Please, Raul.
If I may respond to your question, the order, NRA order, was in public consultation for 30 days, and the reason behind this decision, changing the rules in the balancing market, was an analysis stating that the higher prices in the balancing market are a result also of the capacities that are still in trial period and not be commissioned. In trial period, you don't have to make notifications, you don't have imbalances, so it makes sense from the investor perspective to stay like this. But for the balancing market, and the cost of your imbalances moves to the other participants in the market. So therefore, ANRE changed the rules to lower the pressure on the prices in the balancing market.
And change the rules abiding by the letter to the deadlines and period of times they are forced to announce and keep it in public display.
And the pricing mechanism is not the average of the last 90 days, is the market price for your actual generation. And this is the impact. If you have negative prices, the only option is to shut down the power plant. Otherwise, you will bring money from home.
Yes, yes. On medium and long term, I think is a good decision. Okay, it might be debatable if the way that it was introduced was the best one. Please, Iulia.
Yeah, this was the comment that I wanted to make. Okay, you change the rules, no problem, but look a bit how it affects the participants who are in that stage at the moment, because licensing for production doesn't take 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cannot switch instantly. That's one comment. The second comment, and thank you for bringing the discussion, Nursah, to the financing side. Indeed, it's a learning curve, I would say, in the financing of these types of projects. And it has grown with the market over the past 3 years. The openness of banks has been developing up until now, and now we have discussions with banks that are more and more level. like Mesut was telling the story, 3 years ago we were teaching AC and DC to the distributors. Now we have gone through that process with banks as well. The most common question when I was starting the discussion with the banks is, why are you installing a different capacity than the one in your ATR? All kinds of things like that. They're evolving into the way that they look at the business cases, into the way that they look at the technical details, into the way that they look at the full economic viability of the project. And I see more openness. It's not going to happen in one day, because also banks have their risk management practices that are much tighter than the risks that an investor is willing to take. So yes, I'm seeing positive signals onto that.
One question on this topic too. Is there a easier or more favorable, can you get more favorable conditions from a Turkish bank if you are a Turkish company investing in Romania or not? I don't know. I ask you.
It's curious. Definitely easier with some of the banking regulations, like verifying, the group, the UBO, the ultimate beneficial owner, the investor group in Turkey, with KYC, with things like that.
But in terms of financial conditions per se,
they would be the same as you would get as a investor from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The conditions would be similar.
I tend to see, as a journalist, not as an analyst, that many projects developed by a specific company from a specific country tend to be supported with money from banks from the same space, let's say. But of course, it's just a personal.
As I said, it's easier communication, and it's easier the checks for the beneficiary company. This is where it comes from. You wouldn't get an extra benefit on interest rate
just because you are a Turkish
just because you are from that country. If you're a good negotiator, yeah.
Okay, and this comes to the second part of the possible answer. Okay, if I can convince the bank, I can get better conditions. What do I need to convince them? This business plan, this forecast of revenues, all of that, but maybe more specific or not?
Experience. Well, it helps. To have experience in the industry is another guarantee that you are, you know what you're doing, and you're going to get the project to, finish.
Once again, the one who did it will do it again and more easier.
Will do it again.
All the money go to the bridge one.
Wait a minute. If you don't have experience, at least partner up with people who have experience, who have built, EPC companies who have built parks before. Off-takers, trading companies that have been...
It's natural that the bank to trust you more because you have already in place a system that works. Okay.
It's that simple.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Please, any questions? I come to you immediately. Be a little bit more bolder because there will be very few opportunities to speak today. Please.
I've got a question for Raul. I was wondering if you made any simulations in terms of what is the total storage that is needed to have a sharp decrease in profitability. I can imagine that when you do peak shaving and balancing using storage, it's profitable in the current market conditions when you have just few megawatts of installed capacity. But I can imagine if you have a lot of supply, like thousands of installed storage capacity, the profitability, there is an inflection point that might show a sharp decrease of profitability. Have you done any simulations regarding that?
Well, we have two scenarios. First, that the penetration of the renewables will go ahead of the batteries, and it will be a catch-up game. There will be all the time the need for supplementary system services, let's say. This is the optimistic scenario for the best investors. The other scenario is that batteries, because it take less time to put in the grid batteries. You're not, let's say, instead of having one battery of 100 megawatt connected into the TSO and waiting 1.5 to 2 years to have to build a substation to connect to the TSO grid, you can do 10 different projects connected in medium voltage. That means in 6 months you can, let's say, start operating the batteries. And this is the realistic scenario, and we expect that given the visibility and the profitability of the BESS business, this will be the case. So a lot of batteries, and we see investors not waiting for the EU funds to finance this type of investment because it's profitable by itself. A lot of batteries will reach the market very soon. And our bet is on, let's say, mid-sized batteries, which are not, let's say, conditioned by hard grid connection conditions. We kind of simulated what happens in these conditions, but usually we are working with the neutral scenario. We think that the market for the batteries will be the same for the next 15-20 years because all the needs for supplementary system services by implementing renewables will be covered by the new batteries. Otherwise, it's very hard to simulate. We can do sensitivity analysis, what if, and we can say what will be the inflection point at which investments in batteries will not be longer profitable. But up until now, we didn't make this analysis.
Okay. The general conclusions are the one that matters most. In fact, I think that that will be the main idea at the moment. One last call for questions from your side, please. Elena Popescu, Electra Renewables.
I wanted to add a supplementary comment to Raul's answer related to batteries, and if there are some calculations, it depends a lot if you use it inside the power plant or you use it as an independent one. So those business models are very different. And to also add something more to Nursah earlier discussion related to changing legislation during the operation of a project, and especially related to disconnection or energy price during testing period. I come back to a comment that I did earlier related to having a comfortable partner in your business. We knew actually from Raul's team about this SANERE order already prior to its application. So it's very important to have the information prior to something in order to make the business case. There are a lot of solutions for testing period in order to postpone, let's say, final energization. So yeah, we can, let's say, find the proper solutions. If you schedule it properly from the beginning, if you know exactly which tests you have to do and which tests you can do supplementary to postpone it,
Okay.
you
Thank
have
you.
some solution.
Very, very useful. And there are two useful information I got from Elena Popescu now. One is we can postpone it if we are smart in choosing the test to be done. And second, once again, it is very useful to partner with a good quality expert that has insights in what the regulators are working on, because before putting something in public debate for 30 days only, there are other kind of discussions with the experts in the market, and if you know about them, you can be more prepared. I think that Mesut, please.
Bu kanun değişikliği alakalı uşağınların başına gelen olay beraber yaşıyoruz. Projenin kurulumunda biz yaptık. Şimdi evet doğru ertelemenin bazı yolları vardı. Fakat biz bütün hazırlığımızı yani lisans alırız dönemine göre ayarladık ama bütün evraklarımızı biz hazırladık. Sonra çıkan kanunda eğer PIF aldıysanız yani conformity certificate aldıysanız santralı kapatmak zorundasınız dendi. Yani burada her kanun değişiminin bir adaptasyon süreci vardır. Yani biz tamam birçok profesyonelle görüştük, fikirlerini aldık. Bir kısmı dedi ki bir sorun olmaz. Çünkü daha önce bizim yaşadığımız case'ler var. Evet normalde kanundan öncesinde lisansta da biz testing periyottaki balancing piyasasından lisansa geçtiğimizde Opcom'a registre olduğumuzdaki durumda da kapatmamız gerekiyordu ama o arada switch ederkenki sürede kimse bize ne bir ceza ne bir başka bir yaptırımla karşı karşıya kalmıyorduk. Bizim asıl sorunumuz burada. Tamam yani yerel firmalar için bunlar çok kolay olabilir ama Romanya'da yerelden daha çok yabancı yatırımcı var ve onların da ihtiyaçlarını bir yerde düşünmek gerekiyor. Çünkü bizim adaptasyonumuz sizin kadar hızlı olmuyor. Yani sizin bir haftada adapte olduğunuz şeye biz bir aydan önce adapte olamıyoruz. Bunların daha önceden öngörülebiliyor olması gerekirdi bizim tarafımızdan. Benim söylemek istediğim buydu. Lena'ya karşı yorum olarak.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We had even the time to enter in such details in a particular topic. Thank you very much for contribution. I think it's the right moment to close this session. It was very dense, and thank you once again for this. Thank you also for you in the audience who contributed to this conversation. We have now 15 minutes coffee break and come back for the last session, a session which is dedicated to common experience and potential for sharing capabilities in supply chain. I expect it to be a very interesting conversation. So a little break now. I expect you here soon. Thank you. Thank you.